All right, we are live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thursday Night Lights presented by Sunny Days Media. Tonight it's just me and Jerry. Jerry, I wish I made your Twitter handle a little darker or lighter. I don't
Yeah,
know if it's a little hard to see. I guess I wish I did it with myself too.
you're not
Um,
a graphic designer. It's okay.
I'm not a graphic designer. No, I am a shovel jockey. I dig holes for a living. But we actually have a decent matchup tonight.
We
We
do.
have we have the Saints rolling into LA, and according to John Boy Media, Shohei Ohtani is taking Yoshi Yamamoto to this game, the highly coveted pitcher that the Mets, Yankees, Dodgers, a couple other teams are going after. But I guess they're trying to woo him. I don't really know how you're going to woo him with an LA Rams crowd. That's
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not like they're going to like.
you're not
I
going to
mean,
Lambeau. You're not going to
yeah,
Lambeau or yeah,
you're not going to Lambeau. You're not going to a Nick game in MSG. This isn't
right.
exactly like a hey, look at this. But I guess if you do want to show a foreigner, so to speak, American indulgence at its finest, SoFi Stadium might be the spot to do that.
Definitely.
So he's got that going for him. I'm sure they'll be getting the VIP treatment. But also, if that does happen, I'm not up to speed with anything going on there. But if they land him and the other guy,
I would be furious.
Otani,
I'd be furious.
that's horrendous.
That's
That's
horrible.
the worst thing to happen to baseball, man.
It is.
Fuck that.
Um, so, like we said, New Orleans is going into LA to play the Rams. The Rams are a 4-point favorite, over under in this game, set to 45.5. This is a really important game. If you're an
hmm
NFC, if you're a fan of an NFC team and you're quote unquote in the graphic, right? As we like to take pictures of whenever Fox or
I believe
CBS.
both teams are right. Both
Very
teams are
much
in the
so.
hunt.
Very much so.
Yeah.
So the way the standings are, the Saints are one. They're one game out of play. So like, put it this way: the Eagles, whoever doesn't win the NFC East is going to be the fifth seed, right? That's
Mhm.
that's the Eagles or the
Or the
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
One of those two
Yeah.
teams. Whoever doesn't win, they'll be the 5 seed. Now, when it comes to the 2 and 3 seed, right now the Vikings, Rams, Seahawks, Saints, all four of those teams are 7-7. Now, because of the tiebreaker system, the Vikings and Rams would be in if the playoffs started today, but the playoffs don't start today. It's week 16, right? Is it week 16? Yeah, I
Yes.
think it's week
Yes.
16. So it's week 16. The playoffs do not start today.
No. It's week 15. It's week 15
Are you positive?
because I believe.
It
No,
is
I'm not
week
positive.
16. Last
It's
week was
week
week.
6. Yep.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm sorry.
So, as I just said, the playoffs don't start today. There's a lot of movement. Um, the Saints are and they're also tied with the Buccaneers, who are leading their division. So their division's up for grabs. The NFC West is definitely not up for grabs. The Niners have a lock on that, but there's 3 wild card spots. A lot of people definitely project the Rams to be one of those 3 wild card teams. They're 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 like a I would say they're a pretty good team. I
They're
like the
starting to
way
hit
to
their
describe
start.
them.
They're starting to hit their stride when they
They
need
are,
to.
yeah.
They're not going to razzle dazzle you and go out there and just be the king shit out there. They're not the best team in the NFL by any means of the word, but you're starting to see it. Cooper Cup is starting to hit his stride as a wide receiver, turning
Puka
into
Nakua, the other guy.
Puka Nakua has been awesome
Yeah.
all season long. He's a very strong candidate for offensive rookie of the year this year. Um, their run game, I don't know his name, and he's not balling like Adrian Peterson out there, but I know he's playing pretty solid as from a fantasy standpoint. I forget his name though. And then obviously you have the defense on the other side of the
Kyron
ball. So
Williams.
yeah,
Kyron
he's been
Williams.
playing. He's been playing pretty okay. You got Stafford throwing the ball.
Mhm.
They're really starting to come together when they need to come together. And I want to get into this in a little bit, just about being strong down the stretch. When I not kind of when it starts to count, but kind of not really when it starts to count, because obviously you and I both know things don't count until January 13th. But matter whether you're playing on January 13th,
But you
is
got to
a
get
whole
to the
other
dance.
conversation.
You have to get to the
Exactly.
dance, and this is a really
Exactly.
important game for both teams, right? If the Rams need this win, their
Yes.
schedule going forward, their schedule, I'll read it to you. It's 2 more after this. It's the Giants, which is very winnable, and then they play the Niners. Now, if they're lucky, the Niners will have the 1 seed locked up by week 18.
And
They'll
Bench
play all the
everybody.
backups. They'll bench everybody. Right, that the worst week of football by far. And so the Rams could potentially have 2 more wins here, giving them if they win tonight, if they win out essentially, you're looking at a 10-7 record in the NFC. That should get you in. Honestly, in the AFC, that should get you in too. But and then if you're looking at the Saints here, forget just the wild card. This is an opportunity for them to, at least for tonight, get a leg up on the division and be the division leader. And I guess the way it is right now, the Buccaneers have that lead over them in the division, but they play them again next week, man. So if you're a Saints team right now, you win tonight and you win next week, you probably wrapped up your division right then and there, because it's been essentially between the Bucs and the Rams. Not the Bucs and the Rams, the Bucs and the Saints this whole time.
Bucs and the Saints. Yeah.
You win the next 2, you kind of you wrap up a playoff spot right there. So this is a really crucial game for both teams. I don't think it's 2 great opponent. I don't think it's 2 great teams particularly, but it's 2 teams that really need to win. And
I think
really
it's
need
going to
to
be
win right now.
it's going to be a fun game. I think, especially if we get some Taysom Hill action in there, or if Lord
He should
knows
just be the
what's gonna
starting
happen.
quarterback.
I mean,
Derek Carr
that's,
sucks.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing there. I guess we talked about it last week. They have a lot of money sunk into him, and that's probably the main reason why they refuse that. And he also refuses to sit down. He just keeps playing through all the injuries he's going through. Also, we're sitting here like that's a 3-way dance right there for that division. That's very much so up for grabs because the Falcons are still in the mix. Don't rule out the Falcons here in the NFC South. They're 6 and they're 1 game behind. They're not there. So the Buccaneers and the Saints are tied at 7-7. The Falcons are 6-8. So Rams win tonight. The Rams win tonight. Bucks drop. Everyone's tied up.
They have a win against the Bucks and they have a win against the Saints. They beat the Saints. So I guess you're right there. I mean, who do the Falcons play this week? They play the Colts. Colts are feisty. I'd take the Colts in that game. But yeah, okay. They are alive. Then they play the Bears, which the Bears are another feisty team at this point.
Yeah, but the Bears can't do anything though, right? Or they kind of can, but they do not control their own destiny.
No, the Bears are, I think, eliminated.
Are they?
I want to say they're at 9 losses. Yeah, they're 5-9. I think that's it. I don't know that they're mathematically eliminated yet, but like after a few more games, it's not telling you when you look up like when you're on the score app, it's not giving you the E sign for who's eliminated yet, which is weird because like the Panthers are 2-12. They're eliminated. The Cardinals are 3-11. They're eliminated. Like I don't understand why they're still, but whatever. Before we get into tonight's game, and we lost Jerry. That's not a good look. All right, this is where we improvise, ladies and gentlemen. Last week we talked a lot about. There you are, Jerry. And you froze up again. Last week we talked a lot of Dolphins Jets. I wish Facino was on the show tonight with us to, I guess, eat a little crow on that. Both Facino and Jerry very convinced the Jets were going to walk into Miami and take care of business. That was not the case. Miami routed them. I want to say it was 30-0. 30-0. Jerry, cannot hear you. Cannot hear you, Jerry. Nope. 30-0. Rough game all around. Trevor Siemian, I guess Trevor started. I had that game on. Wasn't like totally paying attention to it. I was watching a lot of the Bears and Browns, which that was another disaster. But I kind of kept panning back over to the Dolphins game. Disaster. Trevor Siemian, 2 picks, 110 yards on 14 passes. So not good. Jets are really not in the best position right now. Going forward, who knows what's going to happen for that head coach, for that whole staff. We got Stevie Mack in the chat. Stevie, thank you again for tuning in. Much appreciated. You're here every week. You're here for every show. Can't thank you enough. The Jets now have 4 assholes after the pounding they took. Yeah, that's a way to put it, Stevie. I don't even know. I don't know where you go from here. Oh, we got Jerry back. I can hear you, Jerry. Can you hear us?
I got you guys. Hold on. I just need to
Okay.
switch. Dude, can you hear me? You can.
I hear you. I hear you. You keep freezing up, pal.
Oh, okay. Cool. Fucking listen. I don't know who's listening or what's going on. If I'm recording, please don't call me. Just don't. And I know this is only gonna be happening for one more show. But it's such a pain in the ass.
We cannot see you, but we can hear you, Jerry. There we go. Now we see you.
Okay. Good enough. Can you see me now?
Yes, I could see you.
Okay. Is there an echo? Is there an echo? If there's an echo, I apologize. I don't know what the fuck is going on right now.
No
Anyways, going back to okay, fine. Good. Yeah, listen. Facino got me so excited for that game. We were just talking shit. It was gonna happen, and then that first drive came out, and I was just like, oh, well, okay. Remember how you and I talked about? It's like, oh, why aren't you laying into this? You should put a hunter on this game if you're so confident. That's why. That's why I bet $5 because deep down I knew that was gonna happen. So, yeah.
Taking my sweatshirt off here, Jerry.
Go for it. Yeah, the Jets are a dumpster fire. We're probably going to get a win this weekend. It's going to mean nothing. The only thing at this point, honestly, that I want to happen is that we beat the Patriots week 18, but also at the same time, I guess we really don't want that to happen because it's going to hurt us more than it's going to help us because then the same time, that first-round pick might not really mean anything.
Just because the Bill Belichick is allegedly going to be out of Foxborough. So even if they do get the first round pick, it's not going to be like getting, like it's not going to be 20 more years of greatness that like everyone's saying, because if Belichick leaves, you have to start from scratch, literally. There goes everything, So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
But I think it's been a mess there. You're talking about,
Okay.
You're talking about New England. I think it's been a mess there for really essentially since Belichick left. And even throughout Belichick's tenure, like, he hasn't been a guy that's been able to draft well. Like, if you really go through a lot of his drafts, like, yes, he was always famous for finding these like offensive linemen in the 4th, 5th round, and turning them into starters. And he would occasionally year to year find some gems at running back, at wide receiver, at corner, and that would happen. And like, not for nothing, you've been doing this for 30, 40 years. You should be able to do things like that. But I feel like New England almost always missed on their first round picks. Like routinely every year. And he's the guy doing it. I mean, seriously, think about it. Like, Sony Michel is now retired from the NFL. This was a guy out of Georgia that was supposed to be, when I watched the national championship that year, I remember thinking to myself, I was watching him and Chubb, and this is when I realized at that moment I wasn't a good scout. Because I remember watching him and Chubb, thinking to myself, like, yeah, this Chubb kid, like, he's the guy, but like, I think that Sony Michel guy that's playing behind him is a little better. And I was dead wrong because Nick Chubb's still going and Sony Michel's out of football. But you know what? Me and my buddy Danny have spoken about this a bunch of times with Belichick, and I do think that that's kind of run its course there. Like, I think they're tired of him in Boston, definitely. I think, which, like, they've been complaining about him for a long time, which is like, shut the fuck up. You have 5 rings.
Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
I do not entertain any of that. The minute a Patriots fan starts to complain, I put them in their place. Fuck
but
that.
I do understand if, like, on the outside looking in, from people that are non-Patriots fans, us, right? Looking at them, kind of saying, like, yeah, you know what? Like, I think this thing has run its course. They had that stretch of success with Brady. Now it's over, and it's just been a disaster since. Like, it's been a playoff, or 1 or 2 playoff appearances, and no wins. So, like, I think both parties should move on. Now, what was that in relation to the Jets when I was taking my sweatshirt off?
Just that I think we win. I think we win Sunday, and then at this point, the only thing I'm really looking forward to, because obviously I don't think. I mean, we still, I guess, technically can make the playoffs. I don't know. We do not control our own destiny by any means. A lot of shit has to happen, but I would like to beat them week 18, just because, like
Okay.
obviously stick it to them one last stagger, but especially if it's Belichick's last game in Foxborough, that's probably not going to happen. And also at the same time, like I was saying before, when I started to go on to my tangent with the drafting, it hurts us more than it helps us because it would help them get a better draft pick. But
Yeah.
at this point, the Pats are starting to string together a couple wins here. I think they're 1-2 in a row, or they're doing like. So it's, they're not down the stretch here. They're not looking horrendous.
The Jets play the Commanders Sunday.
Yeah, I know. I'm talking about week 18 next Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Next Sunday
okay.
they play the Patriots.
Right. No, the Jets, Patriots lost their last game against the Chargers. Patriots are on. Oh no, they have lost. They lost to the Chiefs 27-17. They beat the Steelers two Thursdays ago.
Oh, yeah. Then they win. Oh yeah. Okay. No, I see. What
And
you're
then
saying.
it's just a bunch of losses. Yeah, it's pretty crazy how in October they beat the Bills. That was a crazy game. That was when the Bills were really looking like shit.
Yeah. Well, the Jets beat the Bills too. And we'll get into the Bills in a little bit. I do want to talk about them as well.
Well, why don't we? We're still in the AFC East. Why don't we jump right?
Oh
into
yeah,
the Bills?
all right, sure. So they're the Bills are doing exactly what they have to do here, and they're not necessarily going to win the AFC East. But I would, if you play the Bills come January 13th, I would be afraid because the Bills are back. The Bills are back, and they're taking names. Now, granted, they're not blowing teams out, and Josh Allen isn't throwing for 600 yards like he should be doing. But they're starting to really piece things together here and get right at the time where they should be. Unlike a team that I thought would be doing the same in the Kansas City Chiefs here. They're not losing, but they do not look like a cohesive unit. And maybe that's just me selfishly saying that because Travis Kelce got me eliminated from my fantasy playoffs. But it's the Bill. If I had to pick one dark horse team out of the AFC right now, I think it's going to be the Bills, and I think the Bills might be able to make some noise. I would love to see it.
I would say my dog is crying. What's up, buddy? I would say, if you're a team in the AFC, I don't know. Any of those AFC playoff teams are dangerous, but part of me almost wants to say right now, you may rather play the Dolphins than the Bills.
I think
the Bills are red hot, or they are heating up. They're getting to that point, and I don't know. I'm not convinced by Tua, and I know he's got the numbers, and I know he looked great against you guys last week, but
out on the Cowboys. You could sing both of their praises all you want, and they deserve it. I'm out of them. I don't think they're going to do anything. Let me tell you something about the Buffalo Bills, though. The Buffalo Bills are in the best position possible right now because they have no expectations. Can I hear a 2020 Joe Burrow run? Is that or 2021 Joe Burrow run?
That would
they
be
came
awesome.
into the playoffs with no expectations and won pretty fucking deep as one can go without winning the ring. So,
No. 2021. 2021, he went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, 2021. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think it's 2021.
That's what I'm saying. If they're without expectations here, it happened last year. They got bumped in the first round or the second round after they got the bye because they won everything. They were the first seed. They were the team to beat, and then they got knocked out. You got to. I'm sorry, no, they didn't get knocked out in the first round. They won a wild card game. I watched that wild card game. I forgot about that. You get with no expectations for Buffalo. I think that's best case scenario for them because when the bright lights are on them, I don't want to say they turtle, but it always crashes and burns a lot harder than if they were the lovable losers from when they lost the overtime game with Mahomes in 2019, I think it was.
I feel like Buffalo Bills playoff games are like Buffalo Bills crucial games end one of two ways. They end on a Josh Allen turnover somehow, or they end on defense for them. They end on just the other team driving and it's inevitable, whether it's the Bengals or it's the Chiefs or I don't know who else they've lost to in the playoffs. I think those are the only two teams that they've lost to in the playoffs. I'm probably wrong about that, but
recently,
that's how those games end. It's never like a terrible call or a dropped pass. It's just something that you kind of look at it and you're like deja vu, like I've seen this before. And that's when people, and it's not, part of me says it's not fair, right? Because as a Lions fan, I used to pound the table for Matt Stafford. I used to say, this guy's great. He's definitely good enough to win a Super Bowl. Like, it really isn't on him. This is on the supporting cast. This is not totally on him. I feel that way about Josh Allen. But unfortunately, until he even just goes to a Super Bowl, he's going to continue to hear it, and it's going to get louder and louder and louder. And the same shit Lamar deals with. You know, the only thing that's kind of on like Lamar's side is he's had those injuries. So like people, you know, that's not an excuse, but it is kind of an excuse that people will give. But it's the same with Lamar. Lamar hears it too. You know, both of those guys, until they win a ring or just get to the, you know, the big game, they're gonna continue to hear it. That like, can you win with these? And like, that's a phrase that I can't stand. I'm so tired of hearing, can you win with these guys? You could win with anyone. Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. Brad Johnson won a Super Bowl. Like, shitty quarterbacks have won. Joe Flacco, although he was hot, very hot on that playoff run in 2012. But, like, you could win a quarterback.
Joe Flacco might win a Super Bowl this year.
I don't think he will. The Browns are not going to. The Bears gave that game up. I'm not convinced. But the Browns have a great defense, but no, I don't think so. I don't think that offense is explosive enough. Did he just jump or something? Oh, I thought I heard a bang. That scared the shit out of me. Where was I? Jesus Christ, this dog. It's got me all over the place. Winning the whole.
You can win with
winning
anybody.
with, yeah. So I hate that phrase because you could win with a lot of guys. You know, like do I love Jared Goff? Do I think he's an elite quarterback? No, I don't think he's an elite quarterback. Do I think he's better than Mahomes? Like, no, I don't think he's better than most of these guys. But what I do know is that if the defense, if the offense stays the same here and the Lions keep scoring 35, 38 points a fucking week, and the defense could limit teams to 20 to 23, 24 points, yeah, that's a team that could win a Super Bowl. Like, but do I think Jared Goff is great? Not particularly, but he's a guy that you could win a Super Bowl with. A lot of quarterbacks you could win a Super Bowl with. To me, it's just a matter of how much can that quarterback make up for the rest of the team's mistakes and, you know,
difference maker.
Yes. Oh, I think at times he's a difference maker. Like, I don't even like that because there's a lot of guys that are difference makers, but I don't think they're particularly great. You know what I mean? Like Isaiah Pacheco on the Chiefs. I think he's a difference maker. I would classify him, but I also wouldn't say he's particularly like great. I think he's really, really good. He's also a rookie. But that's my rant on quarterbacks.
Fair enough.
You want to move over to the we'll move over to the NFC for a little bit and then we'll talk.
Yeah.
Game?
So listen, man, I think it was an unfortunate outcome to Monday night's game. The Eagles might be in a little bit of trouble here.
Eagles are in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Their new defensive coordinator. So after Nick Sirianni kind of lashed out at the media a little bit, said he wasn't making a change, he then made a change.
Oh, yeah, your boy was calling the plays.
And Matt Patricia, didn't Matt Patricia show you enough between the end of New England and all of Detroit to tell you, like, this guy shouldn't be in charge of, like, anything anymore? You want to have him work with a position group? Like, and even Papa Belichick got rid of him. So that kind of tells you what you need to know. And I don't think that the Eagles particularly lost that game because of the defense. Like, Jalen Hurts turned the ball over. I saw at least 2 interceptions. Both of them were horrific. Underthrown deep balls. We say it all the time here. You throw it to the end zone, and either your wide receiver gets it or no one gets it.
Yeah.
Eagles are
the interception he drew.
If you're an Eagles fan,
on the last quarter.
If you're an Eagles fan, you should be concerned.
Yeah, hands down. It's getting ugly again. Playing football when it matters. They're in the dance. They're clinched. They're in. They don't have to worry about too much here. But now it's a matter of where are you playing, who are you playing, what are you going to be doing type deal. And yeah, sure, you could relax a little bit and know that you're going to be playing in the playoffs. But to get cold really, like, down the stretch here when you should start going the other way like the Bills are, I would start to be a little worried, especially because, you know, you're going to walk out of there and you're going to play a pretty hot NFC team who's in the bottom tier. You might end up playing the Rams who are coming in with nothing to lose, and they just might throw, who knows? It might just be their day. That might be the day Cooper Kupp gets 250 yards and 3 touchdowns. Like you don't know. So it's
if they totally fall
gonna be
apart
a
like
dangerous
they
game.
are, if they totally fall apart like they're kind of trending, I don't think they'll be playing the Rams because the Rams are going to be a wild card, and it's starting to look like the Eagles may also be a wild card. The only thing on the Eagles side here is that they have to play the Giants twice. And even so, we've seen the Giants upset teams.
Giants are frisky.
The Giants are a frisky
I don't know if
team.
they're going to make the playoff, but they could definitely.
No,
cause
I
a
think
lot of
they're
noise.
eliminated at this point.
Are they?
Yeah, I think the best they could be is 8-9. I don't know that they're officially eliminated, but in the next week or so, they will be. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. We still have to play the Cowboys. The Lions still have to play the Cowboys. After seeing, but every week things look different. So yeah, if you look last week, the Cowboys lost. The Lions beat up on the Broncos. So right now, I am inclined to believe we're going to beat them. But it's tough to beat the Cowboys in Dallas. So I don't know. The only thing, like I said, on the Eagles side is their schedule. Their defense looks horrific. They can't stop a fucking nosebleed. And Jalen Hurts is injured. Like he's injured or he's sick. Something is clearly wrong because the guy that we're seeing,
he was very sick. If he had what I had last week, he was very sick. He's a flu-like symptoms.
Were you guys looking out?
Me and Jalen Hurts, yeah. Great kisser. It's 2023. You're the villain, not me. No, if he had, I underwent a very similar illness to what it sounded like he had on Monday night, and I will say this: it was the worst I've ever felt in my entire life. I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy. So if he was going through that, he played on Monday night. God bless him, because they were in that game, and until that last miracle drive by fucking what's his name, Tyler Lockett? Is it Tyler Lockett? Right?
Yeah.
Tyler.
The Seattle receiver. Yeah. Metcalf.
No,
Metcalf was going off.
No. Yeah.
Metcalf was catching everything.
March down the field, dude.
Yeah.
It was just unbelievable. I couldn't believe what I was watching.
And you gave that up to Drew Lock. Like it's not even like it was Geno Smith. And you're like, maybe he scrambled for a little bit. Like it was Drew Lock. He's going against time here. I think they were out of timeouts, or I don't even remember the timeout scenario. But like,
I believe they had one left.
There was less than 2 minutes in that game, and you let Drew Lock march down and not kick a field goal, like march down and score a fucking touchdown. Like that's pathetic. I'm sorry, man. Like you gotta fucking, you're Philadelphia, read the room. Like this is a winnable game. Seattle is limping into this game. I know Jalen's hurt, but this is why you don't want all of your rushing yards and all of your rushing touchdowns to come from your quarterback. Like this is why. Because when that guy's off, when that guy's hurt, there's no run game to lean on. Okay?
They stopped it twice. They tried to run it. They stopped it twice.
Right. And all those people that talked a lot of shit about DeAndre Swift and going to Philly and, oh, you guys shouldn't have given him up for. I think they look pretty good right now giving up DeAndre Swift to get Jahmyr Gibbs. I think that looks pretty fucking good right now.
I know. I'm benching him in fantasy.
Which guy? DeAndre?
DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, and he's playing behind an excellent offensive line. An excellent offensive line. So
he's on a tough stretch right now, and so are the Eagles. I just don't. I don't like that. I don't know. I hate to turn this into the fantasy football corner, but yeah, just because that's where the majority of my time is being spent right now. I've also never made it this deep in the playoffs. I'm in my big money league.
Are you in the final?
No, I'm in the second round to the finals. So if I win this week, I'm in the finals.
You guys
I'm gonna pull my.
No, go ahead.
What? No, I was gonna say I'm gonna pull my bullshit under the table move of, hey, you want to split the pot? It's Christmas. Let's just cut our losses. Whoever wins. They'll get bragging rights.
I've done that before. I've done that before. There's no shame in that.
That's
especially if you're getting like 500 a guy or something. That's not bad.
Yeah. No,
I would take that. But he's got to agree to it.
I know. Yeah, that's the biggest part. I always throw it out there.
Yeah. All right. Do we Do we want to move on to tonight's game?
Yeah, let's dive into tonight's game. Yeah, I think I like the Rams here. Like I was saying before when we first opened the show, I think the Rams are getting hot at the perfect time here, and they're going to be a frisky
Yeah.
what's it called, the frisky wild card team that could really make a difference here. Wait, what's going on? No, that's weak.
I'm biased here. I agree with you. I think the Rams are going to win this game. Right now at 7:06 p.m. I trust them to cover the spread, I believe. But
It's
selfishly,
4 points.
I need the Saints to win. And I'll tell you why. The Lions are looking at a 2, maybe a 3 seed. Well, maybe a 2 seed, maybe more likely a 3 seed. Right now we're tied with the Cowboys record-wise, but who knows here. And the Eagles are actually right there with the Eagles have the same record too. So either one of us 3 teams are interchangeable in the 2, 3, 4, the 2, 3, and 5 spot. Now, I personally want the Saints to win because I would love to see if we're the 3 playing them as whatever the 6 or they're being the 2 and then playing them as the 7. I'd rather play the Saints than the Rams in the playoffs because first of all, we've beaten the Saints already once this year. And 2, like, I just don't want the story of like Matt Stafford and the Rams coming back to Detroit, and like I think they're more dangerous than the Saints. I think they're
100%.
They have a far better coaching staff. They have far better personnel. They have the far better quarterback. So like, I've never seen this team win a playoff game. If the Lions have not hosted a playoff game in Ford Field. It's built in 2002. Still hasn't hosted a playoff game. So like, there's no easy games in the playoffs, but I feel a lot better playing the Saints than I do the Rams. Put it that way. So that's why personally, selfishly, I'm rooting for the Saints. I don't know that I'm particularly going to bet on the spread of this game. I'll probably look into a player prop, like our friend Chris, and I'll probably roll with that. Over under at 45.5.
Yeah, okay.
Like I don't even know what to say to that. Like the Saints are terrible on defense, but it's a Thursday night game.
Buy it up to 46, maybe. But yeah, I
buy it up to 46 and take the under.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of points.
I don't know.
Under 46 and a half Cooper Kupp touchdown. Or Olave touchdown. I don't know. Or
like
Kamara. Or you know what you do? You take Alvin Kamara receiving yards. That's a safe.
I don't think he's done much the past couple of weeks. Am I wrong?
No, receiving yards though, because he's one of their lead receivers.
Okay.
If you look at their stats.
Yeah, let's see what he did last week against the Giants. Oh boy, my fingers are way too big for this phone. Keep going, Jerry. Keep going. I want to cut.
Yeah, I mean, listen. If I had looking at the board right now, I like the Rams here, and I'm going to say this for the third time. I think the Rams are getting hot in the right time, and this is a team that's going to look to make a lot of noise. I like the 4.5 points. I think that should be an easy cover. I could see them winning this by a touchdown, but honestly, for your sake, dude, you might have just put. I might be rooting for the Saints just for you because I think you make a great point, and. I think if the Rams go into Ford Field for that first round playoff game, I think the Lions lose. I think Matt Stafford and I think Matt Stafford and the Rams would march into Ford Field and just something like it would just because it's too perfect. It's too perfect.
Yeah.
Like it's that.
I don't think so. I think we'd still beat them, but I know what you're saying. The stars aligning there.
To your point, though, that Week 18 matchup where they play the 49ers, which is going to be very crucial for the Rams, I do think, contrary to your belief, that's going to be a very well-fought game because it's Rams-Niners and Shanahan and McVay have that, the rivalry, and I don't think either of them are going to lay down for that game. So that should be something to look forward to. But, yeah, I got Olave, and I have on one of my teams that I'm out of the playoffs, but I like to win, and I have Cooper Kupp on my playoff team right now. So he's starting. He had a huge game last week, so I'd love to see him go off tonight. Maybe another 100-yard game, multi-touchdown if he wants, if he's feeling frisky. We're playing at SoFi, so SoFi is a fast stadium. You know how it can be. But he's just been overran by Puka Nacua, the Flying Hawaiian. So,
So, so now let me ask you something. If we're looking for an anytime touchdown scorer here for tonight, not a safe bet, like something fun with like weird odds. I'm gonna pull up FanDuel right here just for shits and giggles.
Tyler Higbee. I don't know what the odds would
let's
be,
see what
Tyler
the odds
Higbee.
are on him. Anytime
A 15-yard tight end dump. I could see it.
Anytime touchdown scorer. I can't find it here.
Let's see. TNF. I'll look it up. I'm in here too. We're the same game parlay. Touchdown scores. Okay. So
Here we go. Touchdown scores.
Cooper
He's
Kupp
right
is
in front
plus
of me.
145. Chris Olave is plus 220. Taysom Hill is plus 250. That's an interesting one. Tyler Higbee is plus 360.
Taysom Hill at plus 250.
You want to get nuts? Jimmy Graham at plus 500.
He scored last week. He
That's
scored
what
last
I'm
week
saying.
against the Giants. That's a
You want to
sneaky.
get nuts, dude. Whenever if you see that, he scores.
If there's anyone I'm
Yeah.
betting on the Saints just to score a touchdown, it's honestly Taysom Hill.
Chris
Like,
Olave
that's
at plus
worth-
220 is good value.
Yeah, that is good value. That is pretty good value.
Let's see. Cooper Kupp's no, that's his alt receiving. Let's see what his actual line is set at. Kupp's line set at 73.5. Higbee's at 24. Puka Nacua at 66. Olave at 62. Kamara at 34.5 receiving yards. That's a little high. Rushing wise, we got
He had
Kieran Williams at
44 last week.
91.5 receiving.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they throw the ball to him, and when he gets those screen passes, man, he goes. So that's not a bad bet at all. Taysom Hill rushing yards, 18.5, minus 105 for the over.
I think that's
That's
what I'll
not
do
bad.
tonight. I'll fuck around, take an anytime score, and probably some player props on some yards.
Yeah, get nuts with it.
But I'm not
Get nuts with it
taking
because
a
this is a
spread.
toss-up of a game. It's a toss-up
Yeah.
of a game. It really is. It can go either way. It depends on who wants to show up and play. I do think it leans more towards Rams, for my personal opinion, but it honestly is a toss-up of a game. It can go either way.
Hmm.
I'm repeating myself here.
Jerry, what else? Do we have anything else for tonight?
No, not really. I just want to. So for the folks at home listening, I'm not going to be here on Sunday, mainly for my man Stevie Mack, our number one fan. Shout out Stevie Mack.
Will Hickey?
Is Will here? Is Will watching? I
don't know. Will hasn't commented, so I don't think he's.
Will's moving to Ohio now, so I think he's driving a movie truck across the country. So
That's awesome.
good luck and Godspeed over there. We'll talk to you when you land. No, I just want to talk about this weekend coming up. A couple games here, just quick picks. Saturday we got football Saturday again this week. We got Bills Chargers at night
Bonus
on
football.
Peacock. Fuck Peacock. Yeah, it's gonna be a garbage. It's not gonna be a great game. I think the Bills blow the doors off the Chargers, but also I don't think Peacock is well equipped to run a game. The good news is that it will be, because they have an exclusive wild card game, so this is gonna be a nice little
Preview.
I guess trial run for that. So just anything that goes wrong, I'd rather things go wrong Saturday, than go wrong during the wild card game. Hold on one second. My phone just cut out. And then the other game is, whatever. I need to use my phone because I need to call my girlfriend as she walks away from her hospital because it's very dark and she works in a bad neighborhood. So I make sure she gets home safe. But we're recording, as you saw, when people call me, I have a shit fit. And the Jets, I think, are going to win against the Commanders because that's going to be an awesome game to watch. The number 32 offense against the number 32 defense.
What is the
Can't wait
spread
for
on that
matchup.
game?
3.5 in favor for the Jets. The Jets are giving 3.5. So it's nice to be favored.
That's
We got that going for us. Not that bad. I've hammered the Jets there. Who are the Giants playing this week?
Giants are playing They play the Eagles Monday night. There's 3. Oh,
Ooh.
no. Okay. So Monday is Christmas.
Yeah, Monday is Christmas.
My wife is yelling at me here. Raiders Chiefs 1 o'clock. Giants Eagles and Ravens Niners. 8:15. So
That's a fucking awesome slate.
That's a pretty good
Christmas
slate.
Day. Yeah. NBA who? Jesus Christ, the NFL stops at nobody.
Yeah, they're really going after him this year.
All right, yeah, screw it. Let's go. I'm very excited for that.
Jerry, I
but yeah,
have to hop off now because
that's fine. I got to make dinner anyway, and I'm just rambling trying to get things going. So, folks at home watching, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate. I'm not going to be on the stream on Sunday, but I will be back next week on Thursday. We'll probably go on Thursday. Yeah. So I'll see you guys next week, and let's go Jets.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.